So I wanted to start off with a little apartment tour. I've never actually shown where I've lived on here. Mostly you've seen the background wall of one of the walls in my room. And I'd just like to say that that room was $750 a month and definitely overpriced for what I got, considering I didn't even have a bathroom of my own. And I get everything here for just $500 a month, which I think is really cool, especially because the water and gas don't cost that much. And there's a really great view. I was too lazy to try to unlatch the window, so you don't get to see a view from my balcony. You get to see a kind of view through the window. It's not perfect. It's a really weird mix of nice quality, but also lacking in some areas. For example, there is no hot water. I cannot get hot water on any tap, not in the bathroom, not in the sinks, not in the kitchen sink, nothing. But the bathroom itself and the apartment itself are furnished in an extremely nice way. Like, that's tile floors, that's laminate flooring. It has air conditioning in each individual room. I mean, there's lightings on every wall, but those lights you see are kind of like stick-on lights with batteries. So they're not like super great. But overall, I think it's definitely worth the money. And I think that it's a really decent attempt at luxury in what is otherwise, a developing country. You can't expect the exact same kind of quality, I guess. But again, I'm not complaining in any way. I think this is just honestly leagues better than what I was getting back where I was. And I think part of it is that where I was living was really depressing because it felt like I was still in my hometown. I hadn't really moved anywhere. And here I was going from being in my own apartment in, freshman year of college to having to rent rooms out of people's houses where I don't even have my own bedroom. To be able to go home and just be by myself is really great. Just be able to go home and not have to say hello, don't have to smile at anyone. I can go home, immediately take off my shirt, and flop in my bed and no one says anything. There's no one to put on a mask for. Another thing that I really like about this apartment is that there is a rooftop pool. So it's actually got locked on the roof when I first went on to the pool. As I showed a little bit earlier, there's a really weird latch to get open into the roof. And I didn't know that the little panel thing was you stick your hand in and you unlatch it. I thought, oh my god, I'm locked on the roof, what do I do? And it was very awkward because two other people were swimming, and so I left, and they were like obviously a couple, so I'm guessing they wanted it to themselves. And then I come back 5 seconds later and just kind of sit on the side of the pool until they leave. And then it's very obvious that like I'm leaving because they're leaving, because I didn't want to get locked on the roof after they left. And yeah, that was a fun way to meet neighbors and still not introduce myself. Another thing that's really interesting about living here is the city. It's not as bright as other cities that I've been in. I wouldn't say that Prague was bright because it was street lamps. Obviously it was well lit, but they didn't have that cityscape feel to it either, where it was a bunch of skyscrapers. Like there were buildings and they went up to a certain level and it was brightly lit, but it felt more intimate, I guess. Prague felt like an intimate city. It was one that I felt like I knew pretty well after being there for about a month. I didn't think I would need to be there forever to know every crook and cranny. And here, it's a city. I mean, you see the little skyscrapers and whatnot, but it's also not a city in the way that we're used to, I guess. It's not like Atlanta with its skyscrapers, its skyline that's noticeable. It very much looks like it's in the middle of becoming a city. Like it's not there just yet, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is just a short video to let you guys see where I'm living now. I really, really like it. I like being able to come home by myself. I like the feeling of solitude. I like just having a nice place to call home, and it's honestly so refreshing to be able to have that once again. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.